Hello, everybody, and I hope you're having an awesome Friday. And if you're hanging out with me on the air, today is National Donut Day. So I haven't gotten my donut yet, but after I leave here, I'm headed that way because it's lunchtime. Hey, and thanks for hanging out with me live on the Light Lunch. So I am talking to my parents with kids that are in school because we know that school year is about to end. And well, that only means that we're preparing and planning for the next school year. I mean, that's just how it works, As soon as one ends, you prepare for the next one because we want the best for our kids. We want the best education, and we always do. And so if you're in the process and you're looking for the different choices, looking for something new, your child maybe is gifted in this area, well, hanging out with me to give us a little information about what they have over there, I like to say in their neck of the woods for our kids, is the assistant principal to, I think what they call now, Carter Community Charter School. And we're going to find out about the different name with all of that, is the assistant principal, Principal Adenivi. How you doing?
I'm doing really well. I'm doing really, really well. It's a pleasure to be here. Thank
It is wonderful to have you, and for such a topic as this, because we know as parents, sometimes this is a very hard choice, to try and find the right fit for our kids. And, our educators are so important. So we thank you for taking some time to hang out with our light listeners and our moms and dads during this lunch hour. So let's find out a little bit more about your school and the transition more so that you all are making, because I know some of our light listeners have heard the commercials run and are probably very interested. So Assistant Principal Adenivi, tell us, what is the current name? Well, I just said the current name of your school. Tell us what you're transitioning to starting in the fall, and kind of what made you make this transition.
Thank you. So currently we're as you mentioned, we're Carter Community Charter School, and so our transition in the fall will be to Community School of Visual and Digital Arts. And the reason why we're actually making this change is because we really we see how the world is going, right? The world is going to a digital and a visual arty space. And so we want to really prepare our students for that future, and giving them a couple different tools to put in their tool belt as they begin to progress through schooling. And plus, I mean, if we're honest, the city needs options as it pertains to education. Not every place is the best space for every student. So we want to provide a different type of option for parents. And I think that this is going to be something special.
Yeah. I mean, you see where we're at right now. Talk about digital and visual. I mean, this is exactly what we're doing. So tell me, what grade levels? I know a lot of parents are saying, my kids, I think kids come out of the womb right now kind of looking at a computer and knowing how to push certain buttons, to be totally honest. What grade levels are you guys serving, and what can parents and students expect from your school this coming up year?
So the grade levels we service are kindergarten through 8th grade, all those students in that particular age range. So one thing that we're doing as it pertains to for those grade levels is, even along with what we're doing with the visual and the digital art space, we're taking K2 students and we're putting them through very special electives. And we're giving them the opportunity to progress and learn what they need to learn. Let's say as basic as keyboarding and typing, to a different type of more advanced space from 3rd to 5th grade. And from that, it could be depending on the path that they choose. It could be coding. They can go to the coding aspect, the very basics of coding, then to the 6-8, where we're looking for those students to not only get a more advanced learning in that space, but also to do internships, because that's what we're looking for the city too. We're really trying to reach out to these different businesses, and so that our 8th graders will have a couple of community service hours that they can put under their belt working in some of these corporations in the digital and visual space. So yeah, kindergarten through 8th grade, and the electives are the special things that the students will be able to progress through.
Oh, that sounds absolutely fantastic. I mean, they're going to be over and above, probably as kids are doing right now, teaching us as parents how to make these things work. So that's fantastic. Now, when we talk charter schools, we kind of mentioned this before. We think about what you have to offer as far as athletics. When it comes to your athletic programs, we know they have paused, or they at least, was somewhat paused during the pandemic time.
Mhm.
What do you all offer when it comes to that, and for what ages?
So before I get to the athletics, another thing that because it goes along this, because we think of the athletic space as being strictly physical, which we do. We offer basketball. We're looking to add soccer. We offer volleyball, track, cross country. We offer those different things. But the newest sport that we really want to get is soccer, because that's one of the biggest things that we've been getting a request about. So in the fall, I know our athletic team is working to add soccer. But
You said that because you know I'm a soccer mom, didn't you? You know that I am a soccer mom.
I figured that with that, you'll say something to us about it. But no, the thing that I didn't mention, we got esports too. And I don't know, maybe some of the listeners know what esports is. Esports
Yes.
it's the gaming aspect of everything. And one thing that I learned even recently is that students will have the ability to get scholarships on esports. And so
Yes.
it's like they spend all day in front of the computer anyway. So like, why not offer that as an elective alternative for them too? Just anything from that to even coding. But I know you asked about the physical sports, but I wanted to make sure that I included some of the other things that we would be including in that world and in that space, because we don't want to just limit it to physical sports, although we do have it. We want to make sure that our kids they have that opportunity. I have 2 kids here. One of them loves to play basketball, but the other one, he doesn't. He would rather sit back and build something. And we have that team too. So yeah.
I love that you mentioned that, because I have a nephew who actually got a little part-time job doing esports because he played them so much and he was so good at it that he actually got a job. So that's wonderful that you would mention that. I do appreciate it. And so, other than the physical thing, we know we need to get out there and move around, but also it makes sense for, digital and visual arts. Esports is right down your line. And so I'm glad you mentioned that. So are there any other organizations that your school offers that may, the parents may like and want to know about?
So we do have AIG programs, and the way that our AIG program we ran will be a little bit different, including our high school. We provide these, of course, digitally through a different program that we're partnering with, so that even as 8th graders come in that want to take the Math 1 or the English 1, they'll be able to do it online. So that's one of the things that we offer to go along with we're doing debate. We're going to add our debate team and STEP team, and again, like I told you, robotics team. So those are some of the extracurriculars that we want to make sure that students just have fun doing. It's available. Why not do it? Why not progress? Why not compete? Why not advance in it? And so that's our whole thing. We not only do we want to take what we have, we want to look to see how we make it bigger and better every single year. So this will be our first year, but by that 3rd year, we have a plan in place to be able to compete on a different type of level with the people that's doing it in state and out of state.
Right.
So yeah,
loving it. It's not our norm, but this is where we're going, and this is where your school is going, and I appreciate that we are here talking about it. I know I had one of our listeners say, are there any after school classes that will be available?
So what we are examining that as we go forward with the whole COVID restrictions, and we're seeing how they're going to uplift it. But with some of the teams that we have available, we have to have them after school. So before and after school specifically, both of them we're looking to add back to what we do. So just to answer that question, it's definitely a very strong possibility for that to happen. We just want to make sure that everything that we're following, every restriction that we can and protocol that we can as it pertains to COVID in the fall.
Well, it seems as though you're out there in the community. I keep getting messages online as well as on my phone. I'm not sure. One of my nephews just said, "That's my school."
Oh,
so, go Community School of Digital and Visual Arts. Yes,
that's cool.
Fantastic. So, look, how can parents enroll in the Community School of Digital and Visual Arts? Just basically, how do we go on and say, this is what I want to do, what he's saying, what the assistant principal is saying, is where my kid needs to go. What's our next steps?
So it's 2 ways. One way is you can actually log on to our website, www.communitydva.org. And when you maneuver through the page, you'll be able to see where you can actually enroll your student. Another way is you can call. And that number is 919-885-6756. And so we have a phenomenal front team, and that will help you to put you on the right track. So this should be a part of our family. Be a part of our family.
It sounds wonderful. Now, again, before you get out of here, I'm sure, how can people go other than enrolling? How can they go and find out more information? What's the website? Tell everybody exactly where you're located. I know I told you I was originally from Durham, so when you told me the location, I kind of pictured in my head exactly where it was. But for those that are joining us right now, give us your exact location.
1955 West Cornwallis Road. And when you're coming down, you'll be able to see a big sign that says future home of Community School of Visual and Digital Arts. Yeah, definitely. I would invite people to come in. Please come in. Come visit us and talk to us.
Okay, so that is an opportunity. What is the website that they can go and just kind of read more about and get more in depth about what we've talked about briefly here today?
www.communitydva.org.
All right. Well, Assistant Principal, I know I've been saying your name all, Adenivi. I'm going to get this right. It has been a pleasure hanging out with you. It has been more of a pleasure just to find out more about your school. Like I said, with the upcoming school season or that's coming forward, lots of parents are looking to place their kids in the right position for where they need to grow. And so we appreciate you all being there and being specific about where you can help our kids. Before we get out of here, is there anything else that you would like to say and add to those who are viewing right now?
Yeah, again, thank you again for allowing us this space to be able to speak. But really, I just really want to encourage everybody, all parents, and everyone listening. You know, there are different options out there for you. Every option is not the best option. But I just encourage you to explore. One thing about us, if you come in the building, you'll be able to feel the vibe. And that's one thing that we always encourage. Come in, feel what's going on, and go off that unction. And I think that should be able to speak enough. But we are one family, and we are one Falcon, and we do have one flight with one motto. So definitely.
Before you go, I'm going to tap into that teacher skill of yours because I know it's there. So for the parents that have kids right now, what characteristics would you say would a child have that would bring them towards being there at the digital and visual arts? If somebody says, well, you know, my kid kind of does this or this or this, what would be that one thing that they're listening to right now that you would say, if your kid does this or if your kid likes this, this might be a good fit for them?
Great question. Of course, everybody does the computers. If your child really is leaning towards that, okay, I want to understand what's going on, how things work behind the scene on a computer screen, or how does this game work, or how did they make this, or what's not just playing it, but they really want to get more in depth with anything really visual and digital. I would suggest that they get an introduction somewhere formally. You know what I mean? So even not with us, then somewhere formally. Then I think those type of characteristics, and anybody that just wants to explore something new as it pertains to even any type of elective. I think that'd be good. If they're just bored with the regular type of electives, come on, let's come in, let's do something. let's participate and have a good time. So.
Yes, that sounds great. I mean, because I know we have kids and we're always saying they're kind of different, they're kind of doing this, but you know, when you work with those kind of kids, you know what kind of personality, what kind of characteristic they have that makes them want to catch on to this. Well, like I said, I appreciate it. Once again, before we get out of here, give us that website one more time.
www.communitydva.org.
All right, parents, there you have it. Another option, Community School of Digital and Visual Arts. It's the assistant principal who's been hanging out with me. He is assistant principal Adenivi, and I hope I'm saying that right. Did I get close?
Close. Is Adenivi.
Adenivi. I've been saying all sorts of things, but we thank you so very much for all that you're doing and reaching out to our kids in the community, most importantly, and educating them in where they need to go. So thank you once again. Our love to you and many blessings to the school.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much. We appreciate it.
All right. Y'all, make sure you catch me. We're still in the light lunch and we're having a great time.